I even went on, like Standard Process is selling, Standard Process is selling these Immuno-Boost like packages. And I've been looking into those a little bit, like, should I bring them into the office? I just have a really hard time in my philosophy, even with patient care, giving people external tools to help them with their ill health. I would really always love to see someone look internal first and then improve that foundation, right? The foundation is the person. So if you start changing habits about your foundation, right, about you, then all of a sudden positive health benefits will happen no matter what you spend your money on, right? And then you can always get to a point where you start seeing those trends shifting, those habits shifting with you, that you want to start spending more money on these things. And those things do show benefit, but I mean, if you're just a unhealthy, lazy person and you're looking for an external answer and you're looking to just take that and that will fix the thing, that's very rarely is the case. Sleep's the number one thing. Having a lower inflammatory level, right, is the number one key to help reduce infection from any virus, right, not just COVID-19. I mean, having a low inflammatory level allows your immune system to function as intended, right? So you're giving your immune system the best shot of fighting anything, whether it be a bacterial or viral infection. You're giving it the best shot if you're starting with a low inflammatory system. Bad foods that you eat on a regular basis, those increase inflammation, right? Really stressed out all the time, increase inflammation. Not moving a lot, increase inflammation. Not sleeping 8 hours a night, increase inflammation. So all of those things are these pillars of health that we talk about in the office, right? So the goal is to do the opposite of those things, right? So make sure you're sleeping 8 hours a night. Make sure that you're relaxing the body and brain at times. Make sure that you are eating low inflammatory foods and supplementing supplements or vitamins that help reduce that inflammation even more if you need to, right? Moving on a regular basis, not stressing the body with exercise too much, but moving on a regular basis. Those are the big things that put your body and your immune system at its most advantageous position to fight off anything that encounters it. An optimal day for not catching COVID, kind of what I do now. I mean, I make sure I get my 8 hours of sleep, right? I mentally vet my people, right? The people that I surround myself with, even the patients that come into the office. I'm fortunate that I've got a practice full of patients that I feel like I have like-minded values to, right? So I trust everyone that I'm around and I interact with on a daily basis. If you're around people you can't trust or you don't feel that way with, then you tend to avoid those people, right? Because COVID, I mean, the reality is COVID, the virus lives in human lung tissue, so you can't avoid it unless you avoid other human lungs, right? And every human lung is attached to a human, so you gotta take that human lung that's moving around you, and you gotta think of the brain and the body and the person that it lives in, right? So, I mean, the more responsible that person is, the more comfortable I'd be, right? But if I had all of the tools at my disposal and I had ultimate discipline, I mean, I'd get my good sleep. I'd wake up without an alarm, right? Because sometimes alarms can cause you to be, when you hear it, you're in a little heightened sympathetic state, maybe a little more stressed. I'd wake up without an alarm. I'm doing a lot of it right now. I mean, I wake up without an alarm. I eat my breakfast, low inflammatory foods, right? Very plant-based. Getting into a lot of mushrooms these days because they can have a more meatish type of texture and quality to them depending on the way that you cook them. We had fish last night. Feel good with that. Come to work, do my work, go home in the middle of the day, take a little nap, or at least like sit down and watch something on TV that isn't too stimulating. Come back to work and then go home, hang out with the family, relax, and go to sleep. And I typically checking out my watch, making sure I walk between 10 and 15,000 steps a day. I walk to work, so I'm never really breaking an extreme sweat like I used to back in the day when I was more into sports and more intense exercise. So I'm not taxing the system in that way, but I'm just very consistent. I'm gradually at an incline improving, I hope, but I'm getting there steadily on a consistent daily basis of just walking uphill.